Joining us now is Republican Congresswoman Michele Bachmann from Minnesota. She sits on the Financial Services Committee, and on Monday she voted against the bill. And Congresswoman, are you still opposed to it?
Hi, David. Yes, I am opposed to the bill. As I understand it, the core of the bill that the Senate passed is essentially the same as the bill that we voted against. It just has different wrapping paper, very expensive wrapping paper wrapped around it.
Congressman, what do you say to your constituents, particularly, for example, small business owners, people who now cannot meet their payroll because they can't borrow from the banks in order to do so?
I would say that they're right. There's a very real credit crisis out there in the credit markets, but I don't believe this is the right answer, to hand the Treasury Secretary a $700 billion check so he can have walk-around money so that he can then buy bad investments that private investors have made. How is that going to open up credit for Main Street? What we need to do is really address the credit crisis, and members of Congress should not leave Washington until we do. The SEC...
Congresswoman, is it your sense that if the House votes against this, that you'll get yet another shot to come up with something different early next week?
Oh, I hope we do. I think we should stay here and work all weekend and get something much better. What we could do is we could change some accounting rules under the SEC, and we could empower the FDIC, which after all is in charge of making sure our banking system is sound, have them issue net asset certificates like they did in the S&L bailout back in the early 80s. That is not a cost to the taxpayers, and it helped right our credit markets back in the 80s. It's important that we talk to people who've been there, done that, and who did so successfully. We are not employing those methods. I'm just worried that we'll have to come back to the table and do more to be able to deal with the credit crunch, because I don't think this bill addresses the underlying issue, which is enabling more credit in the system.
Well, Congressman, there are a number of people who say, including the U.S. Senate, I mean, the U.S. Senate is not coming back now until mid-November. The Bush administration seems to be making it pretty clear, and congressional leaders are making it pretty clear. This is it. Either the House supports what the Senate has done, or nothing's going to get done.
Well, that's right. That's what they've made. And I think, with all due respect, I part ways with the Bush administration. I think this was the wrong way to go. After all, taxpayers have already put $600 billion so far into the kitty for a bailout this year. $600 billion. Now we're adding $700 billion on top of that, with no assurances that this will calm the financial waters. That is the Bush administration decision. The Democrats have gone along with that in the Senate because, after all, the Democrats run both the House and the Senate. They've gone along with this bailout. This is their idea. I'm a conservative House Republican. I oppose this solution, but I do believe that we have a very real credit crunch, and we need to deal with it in a way actually address the underlying issue. This won't even address the underlying issue of credit.
Republican Congresswoman Michele Bachmann from Minnesota. Congresswoman, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
David, thank you.
You're welcome.